We don't have to be smarter than the rest. We have to be more disciplined. A simple rule dictates my buying. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. It's not necessary to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. The best investment you can make is in yourself. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Only buy something that you'd be perfectly happy to hold if the market shut down for 10 years. It takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Never invest in a business you cannot understand. The most important thing to do if you find yourself in a hole is to stop digging. Chains of habit are too light to be felt until they are too heavy to be broken. Do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. Honesty is a very expensive gift. Don't expect it from cheap people. Forecasts may tell you a great deal about the forecaster. They tell you nothing about the future. In the business world, the rearview mirror is always clearer than the windshield. It's far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than a fair company at a wonderful price. You only have to do a very few things right in your life so long as you don't do too many things wrong. The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything. Beware the investment activity that produces applause. The great moves are usually greeted by yawns. Time is the friend of the wonderful business, the enemy of the mediocre. You can't make a good deal with a bad person. Wide diversification is only required when investors do not understand what they are doing. If past history was all there was to the game, the richest people would be librarians. A simple rule dictates my buying. Be fearful when others are greedy and greedy when others are fearful. The best thing that happens to us is when a great company gets into temporary trouble. Our favorite holding period is forever. Never test the depth of the river with both feet. The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. You don't have to be a genius to succeed in investing. It's better to hang out with people better than you. I always knew I was going to be rich. If you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell things you need. The most important quality for an investor is temperament, not intellect. What we learn from history is that people don't learn from history. An investor should act as though he had a lifetime decision card with just 20 punches. I never attempt to make money on the stock market. I buy on the assumption that they could close the market the next day. There seems to be some perverse human characteristic that likes to make easy things difficult. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth. It's better to be approximately right than precisely wrong. You only find out who is swimming naked when the tide goes out. Money is not everything. Make sure you earn a lot before speaking such nonsense. If you aren't thinking about owning a stock for 10 years, don't think about owning it for 10 minutes. The business schools reward difficult, complex behavior more than simple behavior, but simple behavior is more effective. If you let people tell you where to go, you'll end up nowhere. You don't get rich by saving what's left. You get rich by investing early. The most dangerous thing is believing something because you want it to be true. Great investment opportunities come around when excellent companies are surrounded by unusual circumstances. Do not take yearly results too seriously. Instead, focus on 4 or 5-year averages. If a business does well, the stock eventually follows. We don't have to be smarter than the rest. We have to be more disciplined. A great business with a terrible manager is still a terrible business.